Hello! We're doing another alien radio signal hunt tonight there. So with the Earth's rotation, our dish is going to sweep across the night sky, passing over many, many stars. Hopefully one of those is going to have intelligent life and will be sending us a signal. And if it does, we'll see it on screen there. Should we get ourselves live across the board as well there? And there we go, I think. Hello, yeah, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight. We are searching what's called the hydrogen line. Kate's already in, how you doing? And that hydrogen line is the channel on the radio dial that scientists theorise we are most likely to hear a message from ET, should they be out there. Lee's in as well. Good to see you guys. How are we doing, Skywatchers, tonight? Wednesday, halfway through the weeks. Lax is in as well. How are we doing? Yes, we're looking out for potential alien radio signals. So, again, as the Earth rotates there, our dish is going to sweep across the sky, passing over many, many stars. Hopefully, one of those stars is going to be inhabited. They'll be sending us a signal. And how you doing, UK? First thumbs up, I appreciate that. So yeah, we're going to be searching for potential alien radio signals again. You're not here, it's a secret. We won't tell anyone, it's alright. There, Owen's in as well. How are we doing, Katie as well? And Jizu as well, good to see you there. Good night, Earthlings. Good to see you, Izina as well. How are we doing? So yeah, we are doing an alien radio signal hunt tonight there. So we're using something called software-defined radio, and that is essentially plugging in a big dish into your computer, and that's what you're seeing on screen now. The received signals coming in live from our dish there. Hopefully, we're going to pick up something anomalous there, something that could potentially be alien. They're quite rare, but they're not impossible to detect, and the more we do it there, the more those statistical chances of a detection does go up there. And Rob, I'm going to try and remember that as your name then, UK. But yeah, so yeah, that is what we are doing. So we haven't quite got those close-up by stars in range. So Mirzam is going to be the one that is going to be coming in range first. I think that's about 500 light years from us here on Earth. Sirius will be next there, and that's a very close one. That is 8 point something light years away. So that is, you know, a couple of houses down on the stellar street, so to speak there. We're all good, Rio. How are you doing? Good to see you in. So yeah, that is what we're going to be doing tonight. So if you're new, do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and let us know if you've ever had an experience with the phenomenon yourself. We'd love to hear about those whilst you're waiting for the action to appear on screen there. So at the top of the screen you'll see this yellow line here. Again, this is the hydrogen line, that's what it says at the top there. And the hydrogen line is the frequency there that hydrogen naturally emits a radio signal as it decays, and because it's the most abundant element out there in the galaxy, it's very useful for radio science there, for the scientists to learn about our universe. There'll always be eyes and ears monitoring this channel, regardless of how advanced we get and what sort of communication technology we may use, because radio is quite an easily accessible one there, but it's a bit old hat in some ways, and we're coming away from it a bit as a species. Thank you for the likes there, Rio. Do appreciate those likes and the shares. They do help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. But yeah, radio is a sort of an easier one, and in some senses it's quite low tech there. So why would ET put a message out there in radio? Why wouldn't they use something more advanced? Well, we're looking for that particular type of message there, which is, you know, a species reaching out, sending a message out there into space, hopefully reaching a civilization they may or may not know exists there. The hello, is anybody else out there message. Nemo's in. How are you doing? Thank you for the heart. So it all goes back into the stream. How have you been there? Thank you for the likes. And Rob says, if you're looking for an alien transmission, try 10 Stonehenge Street. It might make more sense, mightn't it? There. Harco, you're over there tonight. Good to see you there. So yeah, why would the ET, why would they use radio? I said, because if you want somebody to hear that message, first of all, radio is being a very easy technology to get, quite low in the tech tree, and relatively efficient. So more people are likely to be able to use and be listening on radio. And the second is that there'll always be people listening on this frequency because of that use and how important it is there for radio astronomy, for learning about the universe in real time. So there'll always be people monitoring this frequency. So you're really increasing those odds here by putting a message here, and this is exactly where we have heard some of those messages in the past. They're like the WOW signal, like the Ross 128 signal. What's some of the other ones we've heard around here, but this is exactly where we would expect to see them as well. Brad coming in, how are you doing? And thank you for the likes there as well. Good to see you. Oh, and thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
It's cruel, isn't it? They eat alien pets, but who am I to judge alien culture? See, all that red box there, now that is called micro-signal analysis. What that's doing is that's looking at the background level. So in the absence of a nice clear signal sticking through here, it's looking in amongst all of this background noise here, there, to see is there any signs of a faint signal there getting lost. And if so, there, it can tell us and notify us that, we may be not hearing a signal there, because these distances are so vast. So we're not necessarily listening out for ET, sending a message from ET, the inter-UFO communication. That would be cool, but that's more difficult. So we're listening out purposely from that message to being sent out there. And it'll probably be coming from, a world or a planet or something like that. So those distances are so incredibly vast there. But by the time that signal reaches us here on Earth, it's probably going to be quite faint there, and good chance it is going to get lost in amongst that background noise. So that's what that red box is doing. It's periodically checking to see if we're missing something, if something isn't coming through clear enough for us to identify it visually there. But you can hear the signals coming in live, so if I shut up, that is the cosmic microwave background there. Scientists think it is the early universe there, the remnants of the Big Bang, which is really cool to think about, isn't it? V's in, how are we doing? Good to see you, V. Are you feeling a bit better today? I hope so, there. And Lee Newcomb, good to see you in as well there. I agree, feed Alan. You must feed Alan to keep him at bay there tonight. But where are we going? Where's everybody from tonight? Do say hello there as we're getting the stream going. What are we, 6 minutes in? That's not too bad. There. Oh, AZ, how are you doing there? Getting a weird interference there at the moment at 54.308 there, and it's 2 lines and a weird noise. That sounds interesting. So I caught some of your stuff a while back, and I thought it was absolutely fascinating there, AZ. I haven't been recently, so I need to check that, because my knowledge of radio is quite limited. It's literally barely around what we're doing here at the minute, so I'm not sure around that. But I'll have to check out if you've got some clips up. I'll have to have a look and see if we can get some brains together to look at that one there. Looking for meteors. Have you found anything interesting lately? And hope you're doing well. Then it's worth guys checking out AZ's channel as well. Some good stuff over there. And where are we doing now? Feeling better, or a bit better there. We definitely missed you guys there. Alan has as well, so he's going to use his mind powers to get rid of those migraines for you. He says he hopes it works there, coming in with the likes there. And no worries, AZ. I'll definitely check it out and see if we can have a look around it there. Where are we doing now? Hargo, there is the USB glitch again. I think it's probably the USB connection is the most likely one there, Harko, but it's so intermittent, and we don't plug it in and unplug it. So, why would it be intermittent though? I'd have thought like a electronic interference there from a local device. That would be quite consistent. But I don't know. You'll be the one to ask about that. B, how are we doing, B? And thank you, Harko, there for the heart as well. Linux user is in. Hello, good to see you there as well. And Robert says, the further out you go, the more chance of picking up 80s disco music, and due to the time it takes signals to travel. You're actually, that is, you think of it there. So how long ago is the 80s now? My brain cannot fully do the maths on that one. I keep thinking it's 20 years ago, but it's not, is it? So 10, 20, 35 years ago. So about 35 light years out there we'll have to go, and maybe we can hear some of the old 80s classics there. It's facing Ontario there. And what part of the world are you in there? I'm trying to think of the directions of that bit as a bit. But yeah, hopefully we can figure some of those out there. TB, how are you doing? Good to see you in there as well. Harko, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom nom nom, thanks guys.
And V, thank you for the gifts there, guys. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream as well. Yeah, but that's quite interesting talking about the sort of light speed there. That's a pretty good visualization, because you do hear obviously these stars are many light years away, and light travels a long time, and also radio signals travel at the speed of light there, so it's the same sort of time frame that we're talking about, isn't it? There, those signals are reaching out there. So if you think we have had, say, radio since was it around the turn of the century? Was it? I try to think it was late 1800s, early 1900s that we had radio, was the first parts of that technology. So if we'll say 1900 just to be wrong, but to give us a figure there. So that is 126 years ago. So our very earliest and very weak radio signals have maximally travelled there 126 light years. So you can draw a bubble around Earth 126 light years there and see who could have potentially even seen those signals yet, let alone having the equipment to even be able to detect some of those faint signals, because radio communications, television, all the things like that are going to be very, very faint indeed. They're straight as well. Thank you for the rose. Let's have a look. Where are we there? Oh, it started 3 days ago out of nowhere, but it's been quite consistent. So does it come and go, or is it been for 3 days solid? That's an indicator. That will tell you something. That will. Not quite sure what, but there might be something to deduce from that. It's very interesting. And Kate as well. I'm inside the house and my nose is frozen by 1,000 days of summer now. It's extending. It is dragging on. That summer, January, Sam. January. Let's get this out. Let me just go through it there. And Brad, how are we doing, Brad in Carlisle? New here. And what is all this? Good question there, Brad. So we're using what's called a software-defined radio. That is the interface that you're seeing there at the top. It's connected to a large dish in my garden there, and what's happening is as the Earth rotates, that dish is sweeping across the night sky, passing over many, many stars, and we're hoping to detect an anomalous signal there that could potentially be extraterrestrial in nature. Now, these weird signals happen on occasion. They are quite rare, but they seem to be getting a little bit less rare. So it's a bit of a right place, a right time sort of thing. But that is what we're doing. We're hoping there to pick up a signal that we can then pass through certain tests, that we can then tick off satellites and some of the Earth-based things, and even the organic things, because that's the other thing to remember, is that nature is very noisy in a radio as well. So you've got to be able to filter out as much as you can some of those natural, those organic signals, things like that. So yeah, we're hoping that we're going to see a signal like that. And we do this when it's cloudy, but when it's clear, we do a skywatch there for UFOs and UAP. That's some footage, because we're based in Wiltshire in the UK, which, if you know, is right in the heart of crop circle country, and we're just down the road from Stonehenge. So these are the skies to watch here. There's a long history of the phenomenon. We also do a moon watch if the moon is up there, I said, or if it's cloudy like today. We're doing the alien radio signal hunt. They do say hello in the chat as well. Let us know where you're all watching from as well. TB, I was on the M3 this morning for about 4.5 hours standstill due to a lorry. Oh my God, I hate it when it's absolutely locked like that and you just can't go anywhere. You can't go forward, you can't go back, and you've got that distresses. That's the one thing I don't miss about driving there. Brad as well, thank you for the heart. It's wishful thinking. It is. It's very wishful thinking there. Stray and Andreas as well. Thank you guys for the shares. It is those shares and those likes that does help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we can get on the whole phenomena there, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. Carl is in. I hope you're well, Carl, there. And Andreas as well. Thank you for those. And Brad as well for the heart. And how interesting, and thank you for the clarification. No, Brad, thank you for the question, because I always forget to tell people what it is. God, any questions are welcome here. There are no silly questions at all. I'd normally ask people where you're from, but I think your name says it there. Have you ever seen anything strange? How do you feel about the alien stuff as well, though? You don't have to be a believer here. We are very much open to people being skeptical as well. I think it's good to have a balance there to check our thinking with things. But if you've ever had an experience, guys, we'd love to hear about that. V coming in as well with the shares there. Thank you for the stickers. I do like those. A little cool little stream of stickers. And the only way is Essex, the home of the fake tan. Yeah, God, can you imagine what the aliens are going to think about that? I mean, I took it personally, being from Essex at the time, but I did know people like that, and that was the downside of it there. Ali Jazz, Glasgow, love it. Gotta love a bit of Scotland up your way there. And lots of activity in Scotland as well there. And we are all exactly, Rio. I think that's it. And it's a melting of minds, isn't it? We can all get that information and help piece those puzzle pieces together with that. But yeah, so we've got Mirzam in range now, so 500 light years. So as an example, we're talking about over these distances, it takes a lot of power, and they're probably going to be quite faint by the time they get here, especially if it's, this signal is not intended to go interstellar. Obviously, radio just will keep going out until it fades away eventually there. But it doesn't mean it is intended for that purpose, like how cell phones, like our radio and television is a great example there. So I mean, we broadcast that to be heard on Earth, and we calculate the power that we need for that, and they only put in the energy required to send that signal for its task there around Earth, but then it does radiate out further and further. But say Mirzam, for example, 500 light years away, they would have to if they were sending a signal to us here. They would have to spend 2.81 terawatts of power for that signal, which is a lot more than your normal television analog transmission there, or even your local radio station. That is a lot of energy requirement there to send those signals over these vast distances. And that might be why lots of them are getting lost in amongst all that faint background noise there as well. But that's why we're looking out for those particular type of signals, those ones that are intended to reach across the vastness of space, like when we did it once as a human civilization. We did it once, and we put in as much energy as we could. We used our most powerful transmitter, which at the time was the Arecibo Space Radio Telescope there, which is also a transmitter because it used to act as radar. So they would send out a high-powered radio wave out, bounce it off an asteroid, and then that would come back, and they'd be able to tell a bit more about the asteroid, where it is, and its speed, and all of that sort of stuff. So we used that transmitter to send our message. We are humans. We're on the third planet from our star of a 9-planet system, DNA-based life, and all that sort of good stuff. We sent that one out. I think it was 1974 there. But then in 1978, we got a signal, potential signal back there. Some people have put 2 and 2 together and thought maybe it is a reply there, and that was the WOW signal. Now, 2 things to think about that if we're considering that the WOW signal may have been a reply to our Arecibo message. And one is that, again, if it was 74 sent and 78 received, the furthest that could have gone, that signal, if it was a reply there, would have been 2 light years out and then 2 light years back again to get our reply. So at a maximum, that could have been 2 light years away. Now, we don't know of any stars or anything really 2 light years from us. That's you wouldn't want to walk it, but it is a relatively close in space terms there. So our closest star there, our closest stellar neighbor is Proxima Centauri, about 4.3, and 4 point something light years away from Earth there. So that signal, you didn't even have time to get to our closest neighbour there. But unless maybe there was a ship in between that sent that signal, you never know there. Some people speculated maybe it's old 3i Atlas, because that came from the same patch of sky there. So that's one of the main things to consider there. We didn't send it in that direction. I think we purposely sent it to like a nebula or somewhere where we didn't think there really was any planets. It was just a symbolic gesture, but it may have been a reply for that one. And have you heard of the dark forest theory? Yes, Legion, it's a brilliant one, isn't it? And the idea, and I won't get it quite right, but the rough, oversimplified, probably incorrect version is... Oh, sorry, brain's got dead there. Is the dark forest that's, there are lots of species out there, but nobody makes a noise because the fear and possible, reality that if you do make a noise, if you stick your head up there, there may be predators, there may be bad actors out there that will go, right, there's a target, and they'll come for you there. So maybe everybody's keeping quiet. So that might be something that is going on there, something to be considering. Although, I think as well, though, we know this for a fact, that Earth has been screaming biological life. It hasn't been screaming technological life for a long time, but it has been screaming biological life for about 2 billion years. So if there is a civilization out there that in any time of that 2 billion years has had the same technology that we've had, that we do currently have there, they would have been able to tell that there is organic life on the surface and therefore a potential target. But maybe they're not interested in the biological side of it. Maybe they're more interested, when somebody reaches a technological level, and that's when they come in there. And Pluto, how are you doing? Thank you for the heart. But it's a good theory. It might be at play. Stephen Hawking was one of the people there that basically said we should probably not be sending messages out there to ET because we don't know where it's going to get. And that's a very intelligent man, or was. So he should have, it means he thinks that there's a likelihood of aliens, potentially dangerous ones there. We're all good there. Zodiac, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you in there. And did you see Elon is starting Starfleet Academy? I heard like a word or a route, like I've heard him say we need to do Star, but I don't know what the context was in there. But I hope so. But what about if life can never grow past a certain point of evolution before self-destruction? So that's kind of like in the Great Filter, isn't it? There, and the idea is with the Great Filter that there is some sort of inherent barrier that all intelligent life reaches and just cannot get past there. And it might be that that there is just some sort of cataclysmic events that happen out in space and just that happens regular enough to just wipe people out. Or it could be that you say like there maybe it's a byproduct of consciousness that we eventually just get too clever for ourselves and we end up blowing ourselves up, doing an experiment that goes wrong. Maybe it's that we all invent AI and that comes to get us there. And Paul,
Nom nom nom, thanks,
thank
guys.
you for feeding Alan. So it could well be. I'm starting to go towards the theory that probably life is out there, and it's probably quite common there as well. I just don't think that we're looking enough to see it. That's where I'm kind of leaning at the minute with it there, but it's definitely a good angle there. Do you lean that way? Do you feel that makes for you a lot of sense there? And Legionnaires as well. The theory about NASA originally was supposed to explore the sea, but abandoned it and went to space there as well. So I know that they have in the past, NASA, hasn't they? They have dabbled in the oceans there, but it is the National Aeronautical and Space Agency. No, what is it? So National Aeronautics and Space Agency, or whatever it is there. So it was always, I thought, intentionally to look up there. But yeah, we haven't done a lot of work on the sea. They've dabbled, but they haven't done a lot. I think if you count it by volume, so not just like the sea floor, but actually all of that usable space in the water, by volume, it's single-digit percentages that we have explored and that we know about there. There's lots of room for shenanigans in those places there. V as well.
Thank you for the alien pets, guys.
But, lots are coming out now, isn't it, about USOs, things going on in the water, and liquid water is you think, why are the oceans there? Not just for security and privacy. Tick as well, thank you for the heart, as it all goes back into the stream. But not just for privacy, but liquid water is a stable environment. Like, if you can find liquid water, then, it's a nice, consistent, stable environment there. Pressures are the same, radiation exposures are the same. All of those sorts of things, though, and water being quite common, it makes sense to kind of hop from water to water to water there. Or what did they see down? Well, we're starting to hear. I think they possibly did see a lot of things there. You've seen Alan now there, V, and I suppose you could think of it like do the African elephants know that conger eels exist? Well, that's a good point, actually. Do they know? Do they know the details of these? They definitely don't know about anything they don't have a direct experience with, and historic as well there. You can get water if there's hydrogen and oxygen present. Yeah, well, water, and there's ice everywhere in space, isn't it? It's one of the most common things, isn't it? So I think liquid water, that it makes sense that they would use those as a sort of a stable base environment there. And Carl as well.
Nom nom nom, thanks, guys.
That's a good one, historic. And over here, where are we there? Mersey Island was once the centre of attention of potential UFO activity. I think it's 99. Yeah, really? Never heard about that. And Essex police found around 10 people in a field with their UFO spotter ID cards. I like that as well. And Charles Gravy, good to see you there. And the Voyager 1 probe is 16 billion miles from Earth. After 50 years in space, it'll be one light day from Earth. And the 26th of November this year, and space is big. So I love that to try and get ahead, because you talk about the numbers there, like 16 billion miles. We all know it's a large number there, and it's more than 15 billion, isn't it, there? But you start to lose all feeling, doesn't it? It's hard to get that sort of grasp of what that really means, especially if we're talking about, light years here. But this can bring it down to bits. That's good. So if we're almost at a light day now, so it's taken 50 odd years there to get one light day. And if we want to go to Proxima Centauri there, and it's 365 days a year times 4 point whatever, you can do the maths there. That starts to bring it into the gravity of actually how vast space is there. And Rob said the intellectual barrier is already present in Parliament. Oh my God, yes. It really is. And on the streets, sadly, I've seen a lot of that as well. Yeah, it's a good one there. And Keith, host of the Breaking Barriers, how are you doing? Good to see you in tonight. How can you what? What's the question there? I hasn't finished it, sadly. Do ask that one again. And I know I ramble, but they are on the same planet and just different inhabitants and locations. Well, Pluto, this is another angle. Our recent interpretation of the phenomena, little green men in metal spaceships coming from other planets there, is conveniently timed, isn't it, with the development of us starting to go to space and putting men in metal spaceships there and trying to go to other planets there. It was the early 50s, around that sort of time. I know we had Roswell a little bit before, but that early time, that's when we were looking up to the stars, to space there. We had sort of concepts of spaceships and things like this, and then all of a sudden, we think this is how we start to interpret the phenomena. It does make me wonder anyway, when you look back at things like the fairies and the fae and all of that folklore stuff there, when they didn't have those concepts of space and travel and other planets there, they still described people, strange people, coming here and taking people away, and all of the very similar lights in the sky and all that sort of stuff interpreted. So is it definitely extraterrestrials? It's definitely not that. And it's definitely not it's definitely part of one of the options there. It's not 100% that. There could be many things going on. There could be something we've not even conceived of yet. But yeah, we've got past civilizations as well. Is another one. It could be us from the future. So lots of angles on that one, Pluto. So I like it there, and they are lying there. Now, I mean, you can't trust them. Yeah. 100% there. Oh, and how can we talk to them, Keith? So, well, there are many schools of thought on this one. So, radio communication over these vast distances, you're not really going to have a good conversation. It's going to take a long time. So, if radio travels at the speed of light, and our closest star is 4.5 light years, it's around that, which is Proxima Centauri there. So, if we were to have a radio communication with Proxima Centauri, say hello. They say hello back, right? That'll take 4.5 years there for our signal to reach them, and then they think about it, and then they reply another 4.5 years back there. So talk about 9 years to say hello. Oh, hello. That, so it's a very long one like that. But just getting a message, just getting that confirmation that there is technological signals and not from this Earth out there is, getting that locked in and 100% confirmed would be a fundamental, I think there. But there are talking about other ways that to actually have a conversation, because they might not use radio day to day. It's quite a low barrier to entry technology. It's efficient and it's easy, but it might not be the best one. Maybe they use some sort of quantum property. People are talking about things like quantum entanglement there, quantum tunneling might be a good way, or even lasers. There was a scientist very, very recently, the paper is due out for peer review any time now, does think that they are seeing lasers being shone at us here from a number of other stars there. So maybe they use laser communication, although traveling at the speed of light again. But yeah, I mean, there could be so much going on out there. So how do we have the conversation? Some people think sort of a telepathic connection is at play. Some very interesting accounts around that as well. So maybe there's something in that there. And as Zodi as well, time doesn't exist there. Well, time is a weird one, isn't it? There is the human element of how we divide it up, how we measure it. There is a subjectivity to time, how we all experience it. There's relativity to time there. But the concept of basically entropy, which is because things change over time, there is that in it. It's the fourth dimension. So there is that in that sense, but how we work with it and how we understand it now is not the objective reality. There is so many probably more ways to interact with it, to perceive it differently as well. Like, oh my god, the head bends there. So totally with it there. And our whole galaxy is moving, and now that's why time goes faster. Again, relativity does come into play. Our whole galaxy is moving. I didn't realise, but you've seen the models, haven't you, of our solar system there. So it's the sun in the middle and all the concentric circles of the planets in their beautiful orbits there. But it's not just like that. Actually, what they're doing is it's sort of a spiral moving forward, and they're kind of like chasing each other, all kind of like that, going through space. So we're orbiting our galaxy doing that. So obviously the moon is orbiting Earth, and the Earth is orbiting the sun, and our sun now, our solar system, is orbiting within the Milky Way galaxy out on those spiral arms there. Now our whole galaxy is moving. Is that due to the expansion of the universe, or is that because the galaxies are also in orbit? That is something that's up for debate there. And the UFOs could be hidden from radar, like the stealth plane. Well, they very much could be. In fact, one of the products of the technology that they may be using, and it is looking more and more like we are getting evidence that they are using something like an Alcubierre warp drive to bend space and time to get around that physical limitation of light speed there. And what that would do is that would basically make it invisible to radar, because it's essentially creating a pocket of a different place right there. So like as you shine light at it, or your radio beam, the radio beam just going to bend around it, like gravity will bend around a star there, bends light around it as well. So those waves just come back as if they've not hit anything. So I think Carl, you're on the money with that one there. And UFOs are man-made. Well, there's an argument, isn't there, that maybe there's big reverse engineering programs going on there. Some people say we haven't made much progress. Other people say we've made loads of progress. And other people say there's no UFOs at all. They're all just secret government projects on that one. I don't think the evidence is clear to definitively say 100% either way on any of those ones. Bougie is in. How are we doing? Good to see you there. Thank you for the share there. Well, I think it's relative to us, isn't it, time? Like, it is, there may be ways of existing that you don't exist in that dimension there. So you don't have the same experience of time. And time is also incredibly subjective as well. Like, we experience time in very strange ways there. And because we're all here on one planet at the minute, we also have this weird conception of time that it's, you know, slower or faster from a certain point. And that's because we have our time zones in the ways that as humans we've tried to get our head around it to measure it. We go, you're, you know, over in that country you're 2 hours behind or 2 hours advanced. We kind of think of it like that. So when we're talking about, oh, you know, these stars and relativity there, it's not quite like that. Time is more like weather. You get pockets of it acting differently everywhere else there. So, you know, if it's going to rain for me here, I can't say to you over there, say in the United States, I can't say, well, you're going to get rain in 2 hours. It doesn't work like that. You might get rain, you might not. There, and it's kind of like that with time as well. It's these weird pockets. And I think our language goes a long way too, percent. So I think you're interesting with that one, aren't you? And it's all doing a whizzy well. So it is. That's the scientific name there, Kate. There as well. And Brad, do you think our solar system is a little weird with the fact it only has a one star and so many planets? So, like, yes and no. I think, Brad. Like, we don't actually have enough information to say if it's weird or not. So what we're starting to look properly now, and we are starting to see more exoplanets, so that other planets in orbits of other stars there. And what we're seeing is that there are more planets than we thought there initially was there, but it does look like we've got more than the average. And it also looks like, you know, the distribution, we've not really found a very good Earth analog as well. So it does look like we're a little bit rare. We're a little bit rare there, but we have to remember our technological limitations here. So we actually have a lot of trouble looking at stars like our sun because they're so bright. And one of the main ways of detecting planets is through the transitory method there, which is basically you look at a star with a very, very sensitive telescope, and as a planet in that solar system goes in front of that star, the overall brightness of that star will dim by point something percent. And if your telescope's sensitive enough, you can detect that dimming, and if it happens periodically, you know, every day, every 3 days, or whatever the timing is, you can go, something's in orbit that's big enough to be dimming at that star, and then you can kind of calculate a bit from it there. But it requires, you know, the stars to be a little bit duller. We have done, you know, G-type stars like our sun, but they are harder to do there. And it also requires us to be at the right angle as well, because obviously if we're all going around planets going around in a disk there, it's all right if you're side on, but if you're, you know, top down, those orbits you're never gonna see, they're never from your point of view gonna transit in front of the star there. So reality is we've searched a lot of red dwarf stars, we know a lot about them now, but they're smaller and duller. But the other ones we don't have a good average picture, so it still is on the table. We could be very, very unique, or we could be quite commonplace. A lot of it is still statistics there. It's a fully scientific term. Don't ask me to spell it, though. And January is lasting forever. It is. It started off all right, and I'm like, no, now it is dragging there. All about the science. That's it. Dr. Kate, your PhD in being late. And we're living our last days here. World War III is not far away. We are always potentially close, aren't we, to these things? We have to be vigilant, and we have to make sure we are doing our best as a species there to not get ourselves in trouble. And definitely with the stuff that's going on at the minute, it sure feels like it. But there's one thing that comforts me with all of this, which is if you look back throughout history, and you see the things that humanity has come, not just environmentally there, but culturally as well, within civilizations and society, and we have bounced back from. Doesn't mean it can't be hard, doesn't mean it can't get very close, and if we don't pay attention, maybe we lose the battle there. But the things that humanity has overcome in the past, some really, really dark days, I don't think it's as dark as it feels. But what I do think is going on is where we are so connected now. We're seeing all of the bad news from everywhere at once, where we didn't get that before. So that tells us that there's a lot more bad news, when I think, relatively speaking, we're not in a great place. Definitely not a great place. But I don't think it's as bad as it quite feels there. Especially if you look back through history and you go, I think there were some very, very, very dark times there. So that kind of balances me out a bit. I could be totally wrong, but I'm, you know, trying to calm the nervous system there as well. And what university did you get your PhD from, Kate, there? Where are we, guys, over on the tubes? I've been neglecting you there, but remember, guys, do give us a follow, because we do this basically every night there. If it's cloudy, we're doing this, the live alien radio signal hunt. If it's clear, though, we do a UFO UAP skywatch, and there's some footage of it there. We do a live UFO watch, see all the weird wonderful things flying around in the night sky, or a moon watch if the moon is up full as well, so we want to see you involved in that. MTV. Now that is going old. Now, where are we? That intellectual barrier is already present in Parliament. Oh, that is, yeah. How you doing, Stephen, as well? Good to see you in there. And there is also the possibilities that these craft are actually already here, located in the deepest depths of our unexplored oceans, and rather than travelling across the vastness of space. Totally. And you know what? I had never heard of that. I'm an old school nuts and bolts UFO guy, you know, little green men crashed in Roswell, that sort of stuff. And then the more you look at it, the more it just keeps getting stranger there. The less confident I am in that sort of position with it. I mean, there looks to be so much more going on. And then but recently, we are starting to hear about these USOs now. Weird stuff going on in, out, and around the oceans there. But it feels like a new phenomenon for me anyway, because we're hearing it not. But it doesn't. It's not new. It goes back throughout time. The records were there. You go back to like 1800 naval records, and what they're describing seeing is the same thing that we're seeing now. And even old Christopher Columbus there on his voyage to the New World apparently saw what he described as a big white candle coming in and out of the ocean there. And you think, oh, it's been here the whole time. Is it with us here? Is it a parallel civilization? What is going on? Or is it just the ETs have just been keeping an eye on us for a very long time? There is so much going on there. My confidence in specific theories is, if anything, is getting worse. You know, I'm getting less confident in specifics because there are so many things, but maybe it's multiple things going on there. And I don't think we've been evolving. I think we've been new-filed and quite a lot of times. I mean, this is the thing there. You know, there is still lots of the science that we take for granted is actually still very much in question. It's our current best theory, isn't it? And evolution is one of those things that I took for granted. I thought that's got to be established. They've ticked all the boxes, they've looked at all the details, and that's why we use it. Not quite. And in fact, our version of evolution is something called neo-Darwinism there, because Darwin himself actually thought there was a little bit more at play, so it's not quite Darwinism there. But even then, you know, we still do not have all of the necessary evidence to 100% say these things there. And there's something about the idea that maybe there was some manipulation there from an ET civilization at some point. I kind of like that one. It does fit for me there. And time, money, religion, and politics, and it's all fake constructs. Well, they are constructs. Exactly that. They are constructs there. And we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but that they do have problems, and we have to be aware of those problems. And we can't put our fingers in our ears with it, you know, as a lot of people do. We have to go, right, okay, we need tools, and they're essentially tools to function in the world there, like sort of social tools. But we have to know how to use them safely. And I think every one of them that you listed there, Stephen, we haven't learned. And they are definitely dangerous. And there is definitely, time is definitely relative there, and the working week goes slowly, whilst the weekend goes very, very fast there. A lot of it's to do with consciousness as well, because we like to think that we're actually more conscious than we are, but consciousness literally means I am present, I'm understanding what I'm doing, and I'm taking in all of that information and processing it. But have you ever, you know, walked back from the shops and gone, oh, I don't know where I've gone. I don't know how, you know, I don't remember that walk at all. Or you've done a drive and gone, oh my God, did I black out? I'm at home, but what happened, you know, there? And what that is when something's so in routine and there's no new variables there, your brain goes, right, autopilot. And then you're literally not conscious. In fact, most of our decisions are not conscious ones as well. Most of them are coming from that programmed level. There's a degree of consciousness for a lot of it, but not fully conscious there as well. And that also affects how much of the time that we perceive as well. And do you think the Earth has a spiritual twin as some other place? I think, I don't know with the Earth, but I definitely think the human race, I think we have relations out there. I think we have cousins. I think we're going to be very, very closely related. Just the fact that all of the reports of the ET, connect experiences or report similar looking beings there to us, bipedal, heads on shoulders, things like that. I think we've got to be related in some way, shape or form there. Maybe, you know, most stars are binary stars or even trinary. There is a chance that we had a second star at some point there, and maybe we got lost, or it got lost early on in the universe's development there as well. So could well be there. And Tank's in. How are you doing there? All Verizon's down there. All cameras. Oh dear. Do you reckon they're doing that on purpose there? bet it's a cyber attack. Or maybe there's something there they don't want you to see there. Often forgotten driving through the Hatfield Tunnel on the M. Exactly, this thing is something about how consciousness turns off. And it's, I think, what's happening, because we don't actually have a good grasp on what consciousness is. We're still something that's very much up for debate. And I think what's going on is it's read or write mode. Right, like you're conscious when you need to take in that information because there's going to be variables, right? So you're writing to the disk there, you're setting new information in there. It's quite calorie intensive for your brain, and the more conscious you have to be, the more power that takes there, the more frames per second that you do there. So like if you need to pay attention to something, you need to say in higher resolution, you need to take more snapshots of time over a period of time there. So that's why probably it feels longer, because you're doing more frames per session of time. And then if it's something that's less important, or you're more confident in there, you don't need to pay as much attention there, so maybe 1 frame per second. So that's why it feels like it goes a bit quicker, and things like that. I think it's got to be something along those lines. Consciousness maybe is more of a property of something rather than a fundamental force. And where are we? Let me scroll through. In the ocean or Antarctica? A good question there, both. I reckon they're both mermaids on Antarctica. They're going to be cold. It'll be the frozen fish section at Sainsbury's, but you don't know. You don't know. Both are very, very interesting to there. It's the autopilot, exactly. My brain does that when I'm experiencing a grief, not routine there. Well, I get you're defaulting to safe mode as well with that one, but definitely it's a very interesting one, how the brain works. And again, we know a lot, but we don't know a lot proportionally to what there is, the amount there. We've learnt more, should be the best way of saying it. There's still so much about the brain that it's a black box mystery, especially consciousness itself. There, lots of debate that can be had around that one there. And Zodiac as well there, one monument on the road, and the next moment I saw a tree. Wasn't like that close though, was it? I got worried there. Safe mode, yeah. Honestly, the computer analogies are so. The more I looked into psychology and started getting really deep into that one to try and solve some of my issues, which did work reasonably well, the computer analogies so fit with all of this stuff there. So did we make computers reflecting the real world and how information works, flows, and all this sort of stuff, or is this a sign that for simulation theory there as well? And people argue that these things aren't computational, but honestly, the more you look, the more I think they are. It's just very complicated equations. I think, with it there. And Borg, how you doing there? Do you think humans come to Earth on a colony ship, but over millions of years it's been misinterpreted into a story of the Noah's Ark and stuff like that? Honestly, that it could work. I don't know. Somebody mentioned this sort of thing earlier. Who was it? I think you're in tonight. A similar sort of thing. It's definitely possible there. There are little clues that biologically humans are not quite perfectly adapted to this environment. Somewhere a little bit less gravity there, a little bit less solar radiation, they're a bit further from the sun. Somewhere like Mars might suit us better. Now, I think something like that, it's a percentage of beliefs, like with degrees of belief there. At the minute, I like that's quite a. I don't know if it's a bit far out, but I'm interested in it. I wouldn't write it off there. I think what I'm more convinced of is the panspermia principle there, which, sort of bacteria and microbial life can survive these journeys. And this is known on sort of asteroids and meteoroids and all that sort of stuff. And planets basically sneeze that early life on each other there. I think something like that is more than likely happened to us here. And in fact, I've got quite a high confidence in that. I think at the minute, to the knowledge I have, I'm in the 90% of that. But I'm not opposed to the other the theories as well. I suppose I'm toying up between, evolution, something like that we came here as current formed humans, or that, we were meddled with as well. They're the three that I'm toying with at the minute. I can't decide which one I think fits more with the information we've got there. It was you last night there, Rob. Excellent. I remember some things, and it's only a one mind, and everything's connected there, which could very well be true. They do say that we are the universe experiencing itself there, so maybe we do dip down they shave off, the universe shaves off a bit of consciousness and experiences itself, and then we go back to it. So it could well be there. Let's have a look. V as well, did we?
Thank you for the alien pets,
Thank you
guys.
for feeding Alan, if Alan didn't thank you already. There. Oh, and Brad as well. I mean, I think it works well. As a theory there. I mean, wouldn't it be absolutely awesome to discover that craft? What would it do to us psychologically, though? Because if we didn't have any more information there, if we just go, wait a minute, there's a really, really old spacecraft here. What would... in fact, my God, yeah, because there is rumours of this, isn't there? Old Ross Coulthart talks about this. Other people talk about archaeological discoveries. Even Bob Lazar, there's archaeological discoveries of UFOs and craft like that. What if we were looking at these things going, oh God, are these alien? Where have they come from? Because, a craft travels through space, come from somewhere else. Maybe it's got weird symbols on it and all that sort of stuff. And maybe it is the ship that brought us here. Wouldn't that be, you find Noah's Ark and it's a Hulk or something like that. Or maybe it's still up there in some sort of weird Trojan orbit of Earth. Maybe the main craft came there and we came down on little ships for that last step, was it? Mars originally. Men are from Mars and V is from Venus. And we are not from here. There are some clues that way there. And this is a made planet with a system. So, again, there are arguments to be made there. Things like Earth does seem to be a little bit perfect, a little bit diverse with its life and environments there. I mean, you look at the other planets in our solar system. You got an ice planet, you got your Marsy rocky desert planets there, you got your gas giants, you've got, we know Mercury, you got your lava-y planets there, and you've got your hot pressurized Venus weird planets. They're a planet per environment. But Earth is weird. Earth is a nice collection of all these things, and the moon is weird, and the moon is responsible for a lot of that stability that we have here and that range of diversity. So maybe this is constructed. We just, going to be hard to prove it, but it's very interesting there. We're living here not free again. Another thing's there, prison planet or zoo hypothesis theories there. And universe is experiencing itself. Them's a 3AM's fault there. They are. I'm trying to get my head around it as well there. And that's that subconsciousness. Well, it could tie into it as well there. And Zwitter, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you in there. And well, the craft was probably broken up for usable metals. Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? You'd recycle the things from the craft for those things. So that, and exoplanets are also a diverse. Well, they hopefully they're going to be diverse. I mean, they're diverse as on an individual basis as far as we know, but we don't have the resolution, do we, to know specifics about them yet. But they could well be. There could be multiple Earths out there. In fact, they do talk about super Earths, don't they, as things there, they are larger than our Earth, but we think to be the same thing. We can kind of guess some atmospheric qualities, and they can then imply certain other things, but it's always contested and always argued. So there's the one planet out there called K218b there. So it's in orbit of a far away star. We think we've actually got our first biosignature from that planet, which is amazing to think that all over that distance we may be able to tell that there is biological life on that planet, because we are detecting a gas there in a high quantity that we only know can be made here on Earth via biological life there. So if there's no other way other than through biological life of making that gas, then I think that's what it thinks there. But it's very hard for us to tell. We can literally only look at the atmospheres and go, there seems to be these gases in that atmosphere. What does that equal? What environment would cause those gases there? But it's not quite in stone. But the range and the diversity out there, I think, is going to be phenomenal. We won't even get our head around what is possibly out there. And Brad as well, the human race would collapse and religion would implode and we would destroy ourselves there. I don't know, I've thought that, and I think there'll always be a bit of unrest in individual cases there, but somebody made a good point the other day to me, which was that in the 1800s, it was popular belief that Martians and Venusians, there was life on Mars and Venus. And people literally thought they were getting messages and they could see the canals there. It was public consensus that they thought within our solar system there were aliens, civilizations. And we got on fine with that. It didn't mess anything up, and we were arguably more religious back then as well. And when I went, yeah, we've already tested this. You know, and I think, you know, any adjustment from A to B, there's always a bit of friction, isn't there? So it's not that it'd be friction free, but I think I think we'd be probably better off than we think. And maybe we are the guest here, and behind the ice walls is more. I mean, we may well be guests as well, controlling us. I mean, possibly we are quite easily manipulated. And A up there, didn't get any notifications from any channel. A up, we're being silenced. A up. Hope you're okay, though. And Shannon, hello. Hope you are well. Are you feeling better yet? There. And Catherine from Denmark, welcome aboard. Good to see you in there. Have you had any experiences yourself with the phenomena? Would love to hear about that if you have. And coming in with the hashtags there, V, appreciate that, guys. It is those likes and those hashtags that help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we have on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. And if you're just joining us, we're doing a live alien radio signal hunt, and we're searching what's called the hydrogen line. That is the yellow line at the top of the screen. It is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize we are most likely to hear a message from ET should they be out there sending a signal. And it's where we've heard some very interesting signals in the past, like the WOW signal, but many more indeed. So yeah, do make sure you're following, because we do this basically every night. If it's a cloudy night, we're doing this, the alien radio signal hunt. If it's a clear sky, no, that's the wrong button. If it's a clear sky, we're doing this, which is a live UFO UAP skywatching, because we are based in Wiltshire in the UK, which, if you know, is right in the heart of old crop circle country. These are skies to be watching for the phenomena there. Say a moon watch as well if the moon is up full. So if you, hopefully you'll get a notification, unlike A up there. Oh, when we go live there. And Long John, how are you doing? Good to see you. Now, why is this planet so perfect for us? Well, I think it begs that question. I've heard some interesting points the other way, which is we were made to be perfect for the planet and the environment. But I think there's a very strong case to be made that, and we've evolved to be that, but I think there's a strong case to be made that this planet is a little bit too perfect. Isn't it? You know, like just the fact of the effects that our moon has on us here. So it stabilizes the tides there and some of the weather. It stabilizes the axial tilt, you know, of our planet there, stops the wobble, which stops the massive ice ages coming in every couple of years and weird things like that. It's also seems to be a perfect set of stabilizers there. You know, when your kids are trying to learn to ride a bike and they have the stabilizers, so don't fall off until they've got the skills there. The moon could be argued to be something like that. It's that first stepping stone for us to go into planetary there. And it's also perfectly perfectly sized and the distance from the sun there. So I think it's about 400th of the size of the sun there. Is at 400 times the distance from the sun, which therefore it gives us that almost perfect like solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse is, I just assumed they were common, but no, they're very rare. And, you know, again, we're the only planet that we know that has them because of our moon being at that very precise distance. But, again, that's interesting. But it also covers enough of the sun during those eclipses, but not all of it, enough of it to us to study the sun a little bit more as well. So it's very interesting. It does seem to be perfectly placed for all of those things. Where are we? Let me scroll up here. Where are we in the chat? My eyes are going now. So it's a very good point there. Aloha, John. Where are you joining us from? And Rob, if we continue to sit on our butts on YouTube and social media, we will evolve into Daleks. Well, we'll evolve, they do think, into the Greys. So this is an evolutionary biologist has come out, hasn't he, and said, look, if we continue on these current evolutionary trends, there's no reason why we wouldn't look like the Greys. There is every reason why we would. You know, so maybe the Greys are us from the future. It's another tick in that direction, isn't it, there? And it would make sense why they're then harvesting those gametes and what's the other one there? But essentially, you know, the reproductive genes and stuff from us, because maybe they're related and maybe they need that diversity. They say, actually, the perfect time to harvest human genetics there was in the 70s, because it was that cusp of, we're so intermixed there, it's that perfect dilution of the gene pool there, because you don't want it in, that's when you kind of get genetic issues if you've got a small gene pool there. But we were starting to become so interconnected internationally there, our genes were really healthily mixed during the 70s also, but it was before we started polluting everything ourselves and having those other issues from that there. So maybe there was a spike of abductions in that period of time to get those there. And the Martian Chronicles was a good series. I don't think I've seen that one there, Rob. And if the universal creator created the universe, then who created the universal creator? It was Dave from the corner shop. Stephen, that's how my brain works. Like, honestly, I totally get that question. As soon as somebody says, okay, right, the universe is everything that's everything, but what's that in? Okay, and then what's that in? Like, my brain can't get its head around, like a top layer of these things. And have you seen the movie Approaching the Unknown? I don't think I have, actually. I don't even have heard of that one. Is it more of a documentary sort of one? Where are we? Back over on the tubes. I'm glad to hear that one. Up there. Oh no, still poorly, Shannon. Hopefully it'll pass soon. There has been hanging around for a lot of people lately there. And I've not been here for a while, but I'm back. It's always good to see you there, Kevin. I hope you've been well. Happy New Year, if it has been, that long as well. I hope everything is good with you there. And Zodiac as well, liking that there. And Shannon shared the stream there. Thank you for that one, Shannon. And I'll be a crazy Dalek and make surf it every day. What's that? What's Suffles? Agent X, how you doing there? And a guy on the tube there catches his UAPs on most days. And now, it does make me wonder when there's like a consistency, with it there. There means there's going to be a pattern to it, isn't there? They're going to be doing something for a purpose. And if we can understand what that purpose is, we can then start to deduce some intentions and things like that. Because you imagine those uncontracted tribes down there in North Central Ireland, they've not really had any contact with humans or anything like that, don't know what planes are. If they start seeing planes go over once or twice, they may have all sorts of lore going, what's that thing, the big metal bird in the sky? But if they put an airport, in line with the island, and then they see more come over on a flight path, there's going to be a reason for that consistency in sightings. So is there something we can deduce from the amount of sightings and where they are there? And the astronauts have just left the ISS. That was the medical issue, wasn't it? Oh, Godspeed, they get back there. And looking forward to the movie club. I haven't seen the movie we've chosen. Honestly, it's a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be September. Oh my God, that's a wait. January the 30th. There. And we're going to be doing that last Friday of the month. So we pick an alien-themed movie once a month. We all press play at the same time, and we chat along over on our Discord there. So if you're not a member, do join over there. And you can join us for the movie club as well there. It's going to be cool. It's The Vast of Night. It's a very good film there, and you'll all see why I like it. Can't spell. Welcome to the club, Kate. Welcome to the club there. And there were aliens flare. Genes were flared in the 70s, yeah. That's a good way, yeah, the genes were flared. And Long as well, if you was an alien, would you bother with us? That is a good question, isn't it? Lots of people have said, well, look, if they are aliens and they're flying around from A to B everywhere, they're faster than light travel, they're warp drives, what the hell interest are they going to have in us? And if they're close enough to us, I don't think they would have much interest there. Again, like, we are not particularly, there's not a massive amount of interest, is there, in those uncontacted tribes, other than the novelty value there. We don't need to learn too much from them. The anthropologists might want to learn a little bit about their culture. Maybe there's a little bit of studying to be done there. But not as a whole, as a species. We mostly ignore them. But if they are far enough back, if there is that big enough gap that, then I think that maybe we would be interesting. There are more scientific studies they'll be curious about doing. But maybe we're their little pet project. Maybe they've been watering us and they want to monitor us to see how they get on. Maybe we're their little test subjects. All right, let's introduce some nuclear weapons. Let's see what the monkeys do. Maybe we're their little pet. Stuff there. Yeah, gee, Sam, you're wishing the entire year away here. Still got 3,000 days of January left. Yeah, I've got lots of time there. I tell you why, and you're going to laugh because this is weird. I think I got it wrong because in my head I colour code the months. Unconsciously, they all got a different colour. And but they're not to extreme colours, they're like more shades. And I think September and January are the same colour. And I went to that. Weird. Just realised that. And flares are back in fashion, and so I'm happy there. Just dust off your flares. I was heartbroken to find out that, and this isn't even that new, it's the last few years, but modern fashion is not about skinny jeans. And it's like, now I understand why old people are always out of fashion, because you kind of get locked to where fashion was when you were a teenager. And I'm like, no man, I've got to have skinny jeans. I can't have baggy jeans. They just look horrible and ridiculous. So I still have sort of skinny, you know, really pushing the definition of that word, jeans. And yeah, I probably look like the oldest man to all of the young kids these days. It must be a neurospicy thing there, Kate. Actually, I'm hippie, and you'll never see me in skinny jeans. I'm of the, you know, the old emo floppy hair generation. So you know, all of those habits die hard then. They created Earth humans there. See, which are there. That is one of the possibilities. That is definitely one of the possibilities. For me personally, I haven't been able to sort of collapse that down into a definite. There are still few, you know, are they us from the future in my head? That's still got a lot of strength to it. You know, are we, you know, their pet project, you know, from scratch, or is it that they, you know, adapted as monkeys? You know, what is it there? Jippy, a goth hippie. I like that. That's a good one. But yeah, there's lots of the things, and hopefully more information we'll collapse that down. Oh, guys, as well. That's another point. So, you guys that are on the deep dive, I think a few of you are in here tonight. So, update. I know we haven't finished looking at the Condon report there. So, let me go back out for everybody else there. A couple times a month for our little community there over on the old Patreon, we do these deep dives, so we really get our teeth into either a whistleblower account or a leaked document or something like that related to the phenomena. So we stream them over on that platform. And yeah, normally every other week, so it won't be this week, it'll be the following week. We'll do another one there. And if you want to join us, the link at the top of our bio will give you it for free for a month, so you can try it out there. But the last one we did was the first part of the Condon report there, which was a really early independent investigation by University of Colorado, I think it was, into the UFO phenomena there for the US Air Force back in the 60s. Oh, the yawns are catching me, sorry guys. Yeah, so yeah, it's done for them, and we're reading it. We got a little bit of the way in there, but it is still very much, you know, well, we don't think there's anything to see here. But I found out, so we were getting a bit sus there. Well, we were getting a bit suspect of it, but I found out, I think it was last night I heard, that there has been recently released emails. There's not been recently released emails because the report in the 60s didn't have emails. Letters, Sam. People used to write with letters. Recently released communications between the what's his Summit Condon, who actually wrote the report there, and the head of the US Air Force at the time, basically saying, yeah, if you could find nothing in your report, that would be really, really good, thanks. Yeah, so, you know, there's now evidence that the report wasn't independent and was incredibly biased there, so how's that going to inform the rest of our deep dives reading through it? It's going to be interesting. But yeah, we'll probably take a break from that one for this one, but it'll be something else there. It's still very interesting going back to these foundational documents of the time, and, you know, starting to kind of hear certain names pop up on occasions there, fleshing out of what might be going on. Kate there, mine was baggy jeans and chains. So that is when I started into the scene, you know, getting into the alternative fashion there. It was that. It's when I was younger and I was kind of still in school around that. Baggy jeans, chains, you know, your wallet on a chains there, studded belts. That was the new metal sort of part of it. And then that transitioned into the emo thing there. I was chasing high fashion there. Still need to do that, but for some reason I think it takes me to Timo. Don't ever use Timo. Timo? We've not got a Timo account there, so God knows why it's doing that. But the deep dives are fun, though. Phone is on its way, possibly there. Or you've been hacked by Timo. They want you, Shannon, there. Is it not an autocorrect? You're typing in the thing Patreon, and it's coming up Timo. There. I had a full set of hair. I did have a full. I had the fringe and everything. Yeah, hence why I've got the stigmatism in that eye now, because I covered it with hair. Yeah, it's. There are not many pictures from that back in that time, so thank God for that. And see what life created from scratch contributed their own genetic code with primates to create Earth humans. I've heard some things around that, and could well be there. You know, I mean, we are there is a difference between us and apes, and is it a linear developmental difference there, like an increase, or is it an A and B difference? So, which, it could well be. I definitely don't think the mainstream explanation for these things is suitable. I think it's far too simplistic with there. And what if they put humans on all different planets? I hadn't really thought of that one, Long John, before, but we recently, in one of the deep dives, we actually looked at a whistleblower that kind of leaked something. Was it on Reddit or something like that? And some of them are interesting. This one, I think, was just full-on fiction, but he did in it say that I don't know, something along the lines of the Galactic Alliance basically took us early humans and took a big chunk of us, put us on another planet, and then gave the ones on the other planet there like a magic resource printing machine. So there was no scarcity, and just basically to see what would happen. Us who have to deal with scarcity, and therefore we're aggressive and we fight, and they would see what would happen to humans without that pressure. And they were all lovely, and then they got so much more technologically advanced. Anyway, I think it's all lies. But the idea that there could be other humans out there, maybe somebody did take a few of that. Maybe, early human civilizations may have had space travel, and they've gone to the stars, and then no, I can't say it. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke. Catastrophe, whatever it is, yeah. Anyway, it all went wrong, and maybe we kind of got reset to the Stone Age there, and I can smell toast. It went back to the Stone Age and, forgot about all that. So maybe there's us, out there in this thing, or, early form of life there that eventually grows into us, develops and evolves into us. Maybe that was seeded around either by panspermia or directed panspermia. Things like that could then allow for those connections there. And if you would, and if you like, one could look at through a biblical eyes, and to where the universe creator answered, I am that I am. So I think actually when you look back at that stuff, especially like, the creation part of it there, the let there be light sort of stuff, it kind of does actually line up with the scientific process and the step-by-step to a degree. I think there's a lot more in those than we first thought, there as well. And banana there. Can I have my own planets there? I'm sure there is a service on the internet somewhere where you can pay them to enable a planet or a star. Yeah, why not have a whole region of space? But like with everything, guys, it's you can only have something if you can stop somebody taking it there. So you can claim the stars, but you've got to be able to defend it. Oh, so Alan will sell you one. He said he knows a few. Where are we? You have to find a picture and put it on the disc. Oh God, how far does my iPhone library go back? How long have I had an iPhone for? Let's have a look. How do we do this? Years? Let's have a look. View options? No. Collections? There you go. Years, right. I'll scroll the way to that. Let's see. Oh my God. 2009. Did I have my hair then? I don't think I had. No, I still did. Oh my God, that is early. Oh my God, I've never gone this far back. Oh no, that's a weird selfie. You can't see my face, or you can't see the hair anyway. I got. Oh God, no, that's far too dark for that. Let's have a look. There'll be one somewhere. No, you can't really see the details there, which is I'm probably grateful for. I'll have a look and. Oh my God! Sorry, you've locked me in memory lane now. I haven't looked. Oh, actually. There you go. There's one. So this was when they released Mountain Dew in the UK. There, and I was excited because I loved American Mountain Dew. Let me see that. So I went around to the first places that stocked it, and I bought a whole case of it there. So I'll hold that one. Oh, for fucking move. TikTok's making me complete multiple puzzles are there. So you can see the fringe a little bit there. That's a long time ago. It's 2009 there with hair. Let's have a look. Where were we on that little side quest there? You still want one? I mean, I am. I don't know. So take a deep breath there. Don't mention toast. Yeah, they say that's what you smell when you're, doing that. The toast is your kryptonite. Toast is the sort of thing that I forget I like it, then I have it and I go, this is so delicious, why don't I not eat it all the time? Then immediately forget the toast is good. Who wants a planet named? I would rather have a Stargate named. I mean, I'd have a Stargate. There. Okay, you've given in to your toast craving there, Pluto. There. And do it, have a slice of show it off. Might name an alpaca after you. Oh, I love alpacas. You better do. Name it after Alan. Alan will appreciate that. And I had 2 kids by then. To normal clothes a lot. I think, well, you grew up. That's it. I didn't. I was an extended childhood. Well into my 20s there. And a den of chinchillas. I think chinchillas, they kind of like get exponentially cuter the more you have. So, it's like you've got to have a whole. I've debated having a room of them. Very trendy for the time. For the time, yeah. At one point I was there. A long time ago now. Let's have a look there. The first ever life form on this planet, where did DNA come from? Long-term, brilliant question, and a lot of people are asking that. So if we assume that the mainstream answers for these sorts of things, that evolutionary from the initiation of life, abiogenesis basically, through basic cellular to multicellular and off like that, they think, the best guess at the minute for it is a primordial soup there of sort of intertidal zones, that damp bit when the tide goes out there, and heated pools near sort of volcanic areas, and if there's the right sort of ingredients, they can sometimes combine chemically that might, in 1 in a million times, create something very similar to RNA, which is a not as complex version of sort of DNA, basically, as the step before. And then they think something magic happened, become DNA. But we'll never know, because obviously there will be no fossil evidence of that, because the Earth refreshes its crust so much. So it is still a guess, unless they can replicate it, which they can't. But also, there hasn't been enough time, they think, for life to start from absolute zero here on Earth. They think, actually, if you count all of the steps it would have taken, and they can kind of track it genetically there, you count all the steps, it would have taken an extra 2 billion years longer than the Earth has been habitable there, like literally when the Earth was still bloody molten. So it does look like, if that maths is correct there, we couldn't have started here. We must have been sneezed across from another planet there. Funny you mentioned collecting planets, and I've adopted 21 of them. Awesome. Do you know where that? Can you point them out in the night sky? Because maybe we can zoom in on the stars where they are there. Sausage on toast is better when you're hungry. Oh, that's the one thing I never remember to get in, is like meats to cook. And chinchillas are like Cocker Spaniels. You need one of each colour. Yeah, honestly, the collection. Yeah, like we watch the little pet adoption sites every now and again, and you're like, oh, but that one is a different colour. We don't have that one now. You do want to collect all of them, but they are adorable. There. Anyway, back to aliens. A field of donkeys and 100. Agent X, I'm with you there. I'm 100% with you on that one. I'd love that's the kind of the dream for both me and Leanne share, which is like having a petting zoo there, because I like to have animals, but I want you to interact with them as well. They can all have jobs, but then I'm not very good when they get sick, so I think probably actually having that many is just a recipe for being upset all of the time. Can't beat a Scottish square sausage. What's a square sausage? Interesting. I haven't tried one. I didn't know those. Is it just normal sausage meat but square? I want to buy my own small holding and have loads. I feel you there. I once saw, not the money, but there was once this like derelict castle in Wales that had lots of land with it, and I think like permission to build a small holding on it. And I'm like, oh my god, that is the dream there. Not only are you in the grounds of a derelict castle there, but you got enough, to look after yourself and keep people out there. And it was still like the price of a house. I was like, oh, that would have been perfect. I'd love that. I haven't, V. I don't know what I'm missing, because I haven't had one yet. You have to post us one. God, that wouldn't survive in the... Okay. I've got images now of you with like grains of oat there. Lots of castles in Wales. Yeah, because there's so much trouble. You Welsh. Hopefully another one will come up at some point and we can all disappear to the middle of Wales there. We'll hold Allen Fest at the castle there. We'll send you something just like, but fry, like cooked. Like just like a greasy envelope arrives. It's almost see-through by the time it gets here there. It's a bit different there. I mean, it's more like a burger as beef, but peppery and traditional breakfast. Oh, I mean, that does sound nice. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That is right up my street there for that one. Yes, hang on. 67, 17, 59, what's that one? If aliens turned up tomorrow, how... oh, they're the coordinates. Sorry, my brain's gone dead there. Ah, right. When we're doing a skywatch, Penelope, give me a shout on that one. We'll see if we can locate it there. And Long John, well, if aliens turned up tomorrow, how do you think the human race would act? I think there are various answers to that question. If they turned up physically here, and they looked exactly the same as us, it would be... I don't think it'd be immediate chaos, but I think it would be... there would be a tension. You know? Like, okay, right, what do they want? Whereas if they turned up and they looked like praying mantises, I think we would worry about the alien invasion coming with that, you know. I think there are various degrees. And, you know, if we got contact, if we... Well, we're very close potentially to getting that biosignature confirming that there may be a life out there. But if we got a message through from, you know, a few stars away, that's very different. Sorry, there's if we got a message through from, like, you know, just a couple of stars away there, it's very different to than from a message that is, you know, thousands, tens of thousands of light years away. You know, there is more of that, oh, could they get here, sort of thing. So, yeah, I think there's various degrees there. Ah, or declaration, you've not got those then. I mean, with the ID, we should be able to find it. Oh, where are we? I want cows and sheep, but just so they can live happily and not for food. I wouldn't be able to do it there. Like, if there was a survival situation that involved me hunting, that's it, I'm gone. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it there. So you'd have them there, but like for jobs, you know. So they'll have to earn their keep as a petting zoo. Now, Chippy, now deep fries square sausage too, and it's amazing. I bet they do. I bet they do, V. Only 1,000 to 2,000 still exist, but that's one a day for 6 years. Wait a minute, what's that one, Agent X? Oh, I lost my track of here. Where are we? Battered. Oh, a battered Mars was. I've had one once a very long time ago, and it was very nice there. We've all got it there. Oh, wow. 600 castles compared to 2,000 in Scotland. Aren't they more like fortified houses, though, in Scotland? They're those, like... It's almost like just like the keep. They get a lot of those. Mushy pea fritters? Oh, no. I don't know what it is. I like peas, but the idea of mushy peas seems like a crime. I'll do the hunting for us if it's a survival situation. We've said this multiple times, Shannon. Even when, like, you know, you've not been in, we're still, you know, we're going to meet you at your dad's there. You know, like we're wholly depending on you and your family to keep us all going. I honestly, I think I'll be the worst student, but I think we'll definitely need it. And can we have one night on here where we just do things you've never tried? So you try. Yeah, we can do that. That'd be like the weirdest stream possible. Just, but I think, yeah, we could give that one a go. Yeah, I think if we're on a skywatch, if we're in the right hemisphere for it, you know, the right time of year, point in the right direction, it'd be good to see your planets there, Penelope. Oh, Edinburgh, well, that's a proper castle, that is. Not, so I don't think that you don't have any castles. But you got like the fortified houses. That was the more of the tradition, wasn't it? There, what do they call them? There's a name for them. You know, castles were where the trouble were. I think we need to do a group hypnosis session. Alan will put us under. Where are we? Oh no, we're up to date. There we go. And oh no, it's confectionery. But the castle is on a big rock. That's what I thought you meant. Edinburgh Rock. Oh, as in you mean like the seaside rock, or is it something different? Like the little sticks of it. God, my teeth are not up to that sort of stuff now. I've always wanted to hit a hippopotamus too. Oh, hypnotised. I'm actually trying it. Actually, soon. That is coming up for me next month. I've booked in. I'm going to give it a go for some of my bad habits. So I'll let you know how it gets on. Can you go? I'm in here, so I can stop doing that, you know. And I come out of it going, I was abducted. If I win the lottery, I'm buying a car. 100%. Same but different now, and it's better on the teeth. Oh, there we go. That's improved. Anything's better on the teeth. I can't even have pork scratches now, which is a real crime. It's like one bite, and that's it. Another tooth gone. And who's to say we aren't already under mind control from Alan? Well, I think we all. Yeah, you are. I mean, after your shopping trip that we saw. Today was it? Today or was it yesterday? There, I was purchasing 100 Allens. If you're there. Oh, wow. Well done, Kate. Well done. Oh, DJ, good to see you. How are you doing? That's the Mountain Dew doing the damage. I've cut a lot of those out now. Back in the day, though, not so much. Work is tiring. Oh, poor guy. Oh. But we're here now. We're doing an alien radio signal hunt. So maybe you'll bring the good luck for us, DJ. Then you went for picture frames and you came back with, was it another 2 Allens there, Ab? And do you think we have to reach a certain level of technology before they talk to us? Ooh. Maybe. I mean, maybe it's not so much a hard rule, but maybe we're not interesting until we can. Or maybe for them to have enough of a conversation, they need to share knowledge, which we need the technical advancement to be able to handle, if that makes sense. And the planet is already... This planet is already for public first contact because of a warp drive development. Yeah, well, they do say as well, don't they, that if you had warp drive technology there, you know, we would have to be a little bit more stable, just because of the sheer dangers of it there being able to do that one. Like, you know, you'd probably quite quickly do yourself in with it. But it doesn't like warp drives are potentially being used there. Might have to start doing a lives. Oh, DJ, 100%. Give it a go. It is always worth it. You never know who you're going to meet there. What would you be doing? Are you going to be doing some Sky stuff, or is it DJ related? And 2 Allens and a spaceship. I did want one of the spaceships for Alan to sit in. That is on my list. I'll just check eBay. And I have switched to the banana flavoured ones. Though... So not quite to the accomplishment. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step there. Maybe they just think we're weird. Yeah. Well, probably are very weird to them. I mean, Alan thinks I'm weird. And you're right about a lot of the castles more keeps on Scotland. Yeah, that was just my limit is as far as my knowledge of Scotland goes, other than it's very, very pretty. Yeah, and Wales do very cool castle. Yeah, it's normally the higher the rate of trouble you caused the English, the more castles you got. Has to be Scotland, yeah. Hey, Debster, how are you doing there? DJ related. Well, let us know when you're doing it. I'll check it out. DJing is something that just looks really, really cool. But musically, I have no skills at all. I would like to go live, but I have nothing to talk about there. Well, I mean, all you got to do is pick that. I mean, I don't know anything about aliens. It's you guys that tell me. So just you pick something, anything, it'll be fine. You just need a concept. That's all it'll be. You'll be great for it. 100%. And let's have a look over on the tube as well. And Glenn, how are we doing there? What are the best science-minded UFO podcasts and UFO authors that you know there? And I used to listen to Open Minds and have just discovered SETI Alive. Oh, good question. So I'm still more into the counter side of it, like that. Mainly because I think science is great. And obviously the scientific process needs to be applied to any of these things if we're going to take acceptance of it over the line, like 100% there. But the scientists themselves, it's a bit slow for me, and I need that dopamine kick there. I tell you the people that I like, which I think tread a really, really good line. So it's less scientific but more investigative. So we're not in the realm, sadly, of proving or disproving, but it is building up and fleshing out the cases for things. But I've said it before, so the rest of the chat can go, oh no, he's mentioned it again there. But Jesse Michael's American Alchemy over on the tubes, he's so good. The connections and the people he's coming up with, I think coming from a very good place with it as well. So it's not quite there, but I'll have to check out some of those ones there, because I haven't actually been checking those ones out. The SETI organisation, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. I think they're brilliant and they're doing the work over there, but I've also heard a lot of their organisation say things like, you know, well, they wouldn't tell us, you know, if they got a detection there. I've heard individual scientists basically come out and say, yeah, well, even if we do get something, because, like example, if a signal came through now, well, they're unlikely to be able to decode the signal, to be able to tell much about it other than it is a technological signal and it's not coming from Earth. That's almost the best case scenario. And therefore, if they gave a press release about that, all they would get is, what are the aliens saying? Where are the aliens coming from? Are they going to come and invade us? They'll get bombarded with questions. So they've basically said, look, until we can kind of get more answers, we wouldn't say anything, which I think is counter the thing of it. So I'm always in a bit of two minds. But it's good question. If you guys have got any good suggestions on that one, then let us know. We can recommend them across there. Long John, do you think when we was testing the old nukes there in the 40s and 50s that they detected us? So initially I did, because there does seem to be a correlation, doesn't there, between activity and the nukes. Definitely the recent ufology trend started around the 40s and the 50s. So there does seem to be a correlation, but the more we look, the more it does look like the activity has been going on the whole time. Maybe it's increased, you know. So some people think that maybe those nuclear weapons actually affect sort of other realities as well. Maybe there's something going on and we're causing them trouble, or maybe they noticed us at quite far away and went, oh wait a minute, oh look, the monkeys have got nukes, we better go monitor them and see what they're doing. The problem is, though, anything that as we understand physics at the moment, anything that them being able to tell any of those results from a nuclear explosion, that would also be travelling at the speed of light there. So if it was it will say it was 1940. I know it was a little bit later than that, wasn't it, that we developed it? Was it 42, 3? Anyway, or even 44 that we did the testing. But say, just round the numbers, it was 1940, right? Then that is 60, 70, 80, 86 years there. So any of that, whether it's a shockwave, an electromagnetic pulse, a bright flash, whatever it was that they've detected, could have only have gone 86 light years away. So they must have been really, really close to detect, to go, oh, they're doing something, and then to go there, unless they had some sort of other monitoring device here with it. So it's possible. There's definitely a strong connection that they're interested in those things. But was that the initial one? When I first heard it, I thought 100% that's a really good correlation there. But the more we look into it, the more we hear. I don't know of it there. And Eon, Greg Bear, what's that one? And Twitter as the Twitter there. And nuclear explosions send ripples through as the space-time continuum. Well, I think they do. I mean, even gravitational waves is something that we're looking at detecting now. But they have to travel at the speed of light. That is the speed limit for information, isn't it, there, and everything in the universe there. So it can only travel at that speed. Unless there's a sort of a quantum effect that we just don't fully understand there. Oh, Stephen Donovan's oh, brilliant. That's a suggestion for that one. Oh, there we go. That is an answer for it there. Thank you. And let's have a look. Where are we? Let me scroll up, find out where we are there. I'm sure Modest. That's my middle name. I'm not Modest. There. And I think a few from here listened to us. We chatted about ghosts and orbs and dimensions. Ah, yes, we did. Was that last night, wasn't it? We was going off on that one there. I do a live once a month as a guest now. Awesome. And I tend to go live with UAP Lee or Native American Pow Pow. You've got to drop it into the... Oh, you don't use the Discord, do you? So you could drop it into the Discord to let our lot know when you're doing those. But you're currently on the hashtags there and loving the stickers. And here's some info. DJ, let's hear that. And from the Hindu... Oh, my God. Philosophical... Oh, my God. What are my words tonight? Philosophical. I'm just going to say philosophical. Perspective there. The universe is vast, cyclic, and populated. So, well, that fits with one thing that we know, the vastness, one thing that's speculated heavily, and the third thing that we're all asking the question of today. So that is interesting, because again, the Vedas there's some very interesting stuff. I mean, it fits with what I would understand. We're chatting to Carlos, and he sounded different to what I expected. It always does, doesn't it, when you hear somebody, like you build a relationship up with them, and you build a little avatar in your head of maybe what they look like or what they sound like, but when it's remote and it's in the messages, and then you see them for the real life, and you're nothing like I expected. And life is not limited to Earth there, and intelligent beings exist across multiple realms and universes. 100% DJ. I think that makes the most sense to me. And had an influx of natives ask you, Agent X, there, how to meditate and control their dreams, which is called, a non-human intelligent life beyond Earth. I've got a feeling that we're all related. You know, I think, panspermia is going to have... It's going to have a play. Maybe not all, but definitely a big part of it. I think there's going to be like one overarching tree of life. Lemon tea sauce. And the universe is infinite, and infinite beings there. Well, I mean, it's definitely might as well be, by all intended purposes, be infinite, isn't it? I didn't realise, but mathematically speaking, infinite doesn't mean unlimited. Apparently they're two different things. I couldn't quite get my head around the answer from that, but apparently it's not, because I thought, infinite just means, goes on forever and unlimited, but apparently it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Not quite sure what the specific difference is, but these mathematicians. Oh, is Pluto off? Have I missed? I see you say goodbye. Where did I miss it? Or is it just not showing for me? Oh, now it comes up. It takes a while to populate these messages. I wonder how many I missed there, because I just scrolled up that 2 or 3 times looking, and it wasn't there. The yawn got me. I'm going to sleep. No worries there, Pluto. Sorry, catch me out on occasion there. Oh my God, loads of messages popped up that weren't here a second ago. It's insane. Awful platform there. From the Lost Tribe. Wow. And search up Locus on Google, and it will bring a big insight. Let's draw that one down. I will look at this and go, what was that on my pad? And the word was Sue from ages ago. I was a Doctor Who... there was a Doctor Who reference. Oh. I don't like the word infinite. Unlimited is fine, though. Infinite pain. Thanks for joining us, though, Pluto. I'll catch you hopefully tomorrow night. We should be on with Pete tomorrow night there. One of my 600. This is a separate notepad. This is a custom one I made for the stream. If we're getting back on the notebook, the run here. This is a production notepad. I kept meaning to make one for years so I could take notes when we're doing recordings. So it's got, you've got your, don't know if you see it there, it's got your timestamps and your text and your notes section, so you can, when you're doing a recording, you can say roughly when things are. Because when you guys go, oh look, there's the thing, or we get a shooting star come on the screen, I've got to then scroll through manually like a 2-hour or 4-hour recording to find it. So I was trying to write down the timestamps. So an extra notepad for the list. As if 200 wasn't enough there. Any more backpacks tonight, Agent X? Oh, right. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got everything in range now. I've been distracted for too long. So we have got Sirius, Mirzam, Adara, and Weezon now in range of our dish. So we're going to be looking at those odds then of detection are going up because we've got more close-by stars in range. And the closer they are, the easier it is then to hear signals if they're sending them. So again, now is that sweet spot there because Sirius is 8.6 light years away. Not very far at all from us. Mirzam that we've had in most of the night is 500 light years, and Adara is 430 light years there. Weezon there is 1800, and what did we say that Aludra was? Because I can't see the number on the screen there, but that was thousands and thousands, wasn't it? Like 4,000 or 6,000 light years away there. Could save me a backpack. Pick it up. I'll need it. Can you make a miniature one for Alan? Somewhere to keep his probes. There. Do you think aliens are in the ocean there, Long John? I think it makes a lot of sense. I think we mentioned it earlier, didn't we? That liquid water is a nice, consistent environment if you're hopping through space and planet to planet, which could have lots of interesting variations on the atmospheres and acidities, pressures. All of those variables go away if you have liquid water. So it makes sense that they would call that home, as a sense, if they're darting around from planet to planet there. And again, there's a lot of evidence coming out now. So I think there are. Whether it's they just chill out there occasionally, have they got a base under there? We're hearing a lot about God. We're hearing a lot about the underwater bases of some substance now. Hearing multiple accounts of that, and it's starting to kind of feel a bit more real, that one. He's nodded his head there, and rightly so, Agent X. So I'm leaning that way. And guys, tomorrow, Pete is meant to be coming around. So there's a chance also that the weather will be clear. So we might be able to do an on-location skywatch tomorrow. If not, if it is rubbish, we'll probably be doing some gaming. But I have had confirmation from him there. And under the ocean is a nice camping spot. Exactly. And I building Alan some outfits from the builder. Alan's his little antenna popped up then, so winning some brownie points with him there. And is Carl in? I think Carl's in. He was in, but my little list of people it doesn't show everybody these days, which is weird. Another fault with TikTok. Frustrating. So possibly Carl. Are you still there? Oh, he's in. Yeah, there he is. Why are you not showing up on my list there? And then get 10, 11, 12, 13. It's only showing me 13 people, which is weird. Yeah. What is, in your guys' accounts there, what is, if you had to pick one, either encounter or sighting, experiencer there, if you could only present one for the case of the UFO alien phenomena there, which one? No, let me reword that. If you could see what, through the eyes of one of these people, that have reported a close encounter there, a craft, Area 51, anything to do with the phenomena there. If you could, go back and see through their eyes, just get to pick one person, who would it be? Bearing in mind, if they're lying, you don't get to see anything there. So it has to have been real there. So you've got to put that into equations. Who is most plausible combined with what you think would be the best thing to see that would give you the most information about the phenomena? Answers on a postcard card. I want to hear your answers for that as well. Alan wearing a fez. She's putting you to work now, Carl. Yeah. And Lawrence as well, coming in with the likes there. Thank you and hello. I said it's those likes, guys, that does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. The more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, or 5 nearby-ish stars in range tonight there. Oh, I need to drop off now, and I really need to sleep. Up. I think I'm going to be going off at 1:45 anyway tonight. I'm not even making it 2 hours at the minute. Very frustrating. Yeah, I'm so far behind on the old sleep there. Oh, hello, Buffoon. How are you doing? Thank you for the heart there. Hope you're well. Good to see you in there. I lost my words again then. Well, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night there. Ordered Alan is Agent X. Yeah. Badge and Holdall. Yeah, the official. There. Night night there, and I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it there, Dan. And Laura, I hope things are okay at the minute there. Still in our thoughts at the minute. And we're all up to date. We've scrolled through everything there. There we go. Is Badger's UFO on abducting you? You mean like scouting? Yeah, like scout badges. That's why Alan's down here. He's trying to get his abductor human badge there. He's got his probing badge already. He's well on for that one there. So is there nobody then, guys, that you wouldn't like to look through their eyes and experience that and see what they saw? I think, for me, it'd have to be Bob Lazar, because the balance of what he saw versus credibility there. Get him out and send it over here. He needs on his little scout sashes, all his badges on, yeah. Well, when we do the meet-up there, Agent X, come down for that. Oh, Mirzam is going just about out of range now. Oh, Sirius is still just about in range, though, which is pretty cool there. Oh, I bet there. It is a very good positive outlet there, but it is very hard, so I feel for you there, Lawrence. Yeah, we'll get him out. A little Boy Scout Alan there on his first mission. He's not selling cookies, though. He is offering a probing. Aren't you, Alan? Every now and again, we just see the little running past the camera there. He's off on a little mission. I ordered 3 Alan messenger bags, so he looks like an agent. Have you got him one of those, the glasses with the fake moustaches on like that there? And Peugeot, how you doing there? Hardware setup and antenna array. So I can never remember the exact size, but it's bigger than my arms. So however many meters that is, there's a parabolic mesh, and it is tuned to the hydrogen line range there, and it comes in through some amplifiers and filters there to kind of help us get rid of that background noise around the hydrogen line and raise up any signal sources. And then it just comes in through just an SDR dongle there into a couple of pieces of software for the analysis. And can it be anyone in history whose eyes I can look through? I mean, yeah. I mean, I was thinking UFO, but I mean, if you want to go through anybody's eyes, we'll take that one there. And a medic belt pack, think of it, will fit Alan as a backpack. Actually, yeah, it's pretty good size on that one, yeah. One of those little, with the belt straps that pop in, yeah, that would be the perfect size for Alan. The security guards at Rendlesham Forest. Oh, that's a good one there, Glenn. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see what they saw. because no matter what we do as a human, we're always compressing the information there. So if you have an experience, normal or alien or whatever, when you're conveying that to somebody else there, we can't literally describe every molecule of every leaf on every branch if we're looking at a tree. We can't then go, this was the exact wind speed or anything like that. We have to simplify it there. So it's compression, like when you compress files there. You're trying to get rid of all of the unnecessary stuff there, but still convey enough about the incident there. So we're always doing that with humans. You never know if somebody's compressing the right amount. Maybe they're leaving out something unconsciously that could be vital for that understanding. So it's always a lossy process there. So seeing it with the real eyes, I mean, I would... God, there's so many. If you're going through history, though, there's so many things. Yeah, it would have to be the ancient Egyptians to see what they were seeing. I think, the Egyptians there are very, very strong. Oh, there was some more data actually on the timing of the pyramids actually that I saw the other day, which is very, very interesting there. So obviously, I think the mainstream is about 5,000 years ago, so 3,500 BC or whatever it is there. That's what they reckon there, and that is based on they've got a couple of documents of people saying this pharaoh at this time built the pyramids, but literally not much more than that. But also they've carbon dated something. Now apparently it was the mortar in the joints of the brick there. There was some organic matter captured in there which they could carbon date, but I didn't think those joints in those bricks were mortared, so I don't know how they can manage that. But anyway, that was the Sylvester, although it was actually a few hundred years older than what they said, like maybe 500 years. So it's still a bit anomalous, but they have actually now got something that seems to be a little bit more interesting to date it now. So if there is any metal working in an area, all of those metal particles and associated trace chemicals will kind of go into the soil around it there, and you can do a core sample to check if there was any activity on those different layers of time. And there was spikes of activity around when they thought the mainstream says that the pyramids were constructed. But what is very interesting is that there was a little bit beforehand, but quite a bit beforehand there. Now, it wasn't high enough to warrant to say, look, this was the construction of the pyramids themselves there, but there still was higher than expected activity earlier on there. But it does look like the main bodies of the pyramids are the ages that they say there. And I would have loved to have seen what Jesse Marcel or Cena. Oh, God, yeah, that's such a classic, yes. Yeah. And we have been asked to go to Rendlesham this year. Well, I mean, it's on the list. It's such a good place. Also, the Asian Egyptians say, that as soon as you said history, that's where my brain went there. And I probably could if I tried. Actually, I would always doubt that though, as there's no way to confirm. I understand that having that confidence, but it'd still be interesting. You could always have it in there as a possibility. You don't have to kind of, be a definite with it, but it could add, to the contextual evidence, couldn't it, for you there? And therefore, if you start to see other people saying things, or the little bit of evidence here that might reaffirm that or disprove it, you could come up with that. It'd be interesting to see to hear what you see there. The water hole, yeah. So we're right at the beginning of the water hole there. So we're actually, right at the first frequency. So very specifically the hydrogen line there. So, but it is that sort of range there. So you're very much on that one, Peugeot. Where are you joining us from as well? It's good to have you in. Have you had any anomalous experiences with radio? If you know your radio by the sounds of it, have you ever heard anything strange there as well? It could have been captured debriefs there. Oh, there's so many things to witness there. And could have been captured debris. Sorry, not debris. What am I saying there? Captured debris. Yes. So I mean, bloody no, I haven't, Agent X there. Even they're worried about the fuel bills there, and maybe they were mended at that higher point there. Well, it could maybe that would account for it, because I think they were saying, like, it's, when you're using metal tools to do the carving and all that sort of stuff like that, you're just going to start shedding these particles there, and then probably would have industry to keep making new chisels and things like that, so they'd expect to see higher traces of this and this. But yeah, there could be a lot more for it, though. I mean, it does still look like the Sphinx could be very, very much older. And then we don't know, maybe, you say it could have been repaired, it could have been adapted. Again, they do think that there's a lot of stuff under the actual, or there would have been an original structure below the pyramids. Designed a generator that extends fuel usage. Oh, very interesting. Hello, Punisher. How are you doing? Happy New Year, if we've not said it yet. Good to see you. How have you been? And boots on the ground in Egypt. We need under the Sphinx. We do need boots on the ground. Let's not stop messing around with Venezuela. Let's go to Egypt with that. And London there, surely if you were talking about all this classified stuff, you wouldn't be walking around. Well, that's another good point, isn't it there? On one hand, we say with the phenomena that people are getting so great levels of harassment, and a lot of people may have even been, taken care of, to keep the secret over the years. Why has that not been true for everyone there? And I know that was the initial impetus for someone like Bob Lazar to come forward to make himself a higher profile, that if anything did happen, then it would be too obvious for them. And he did say, as soon as he went public, the harassment just stopped because they couldn't do anything about it. But I wouldn't put it past them to just go, it's an accident. I mean, they've possibly done it recently, in a certain New York prison cell. So it does raise questions there. And I didn't like it when they vandalized the Rendlesham Monument. Oh, did they recently? I know there's lots of kids have been tagging it, as kids do, there. But apparently it's in the wrong place, though. I'm trying to figure out where it all is there. Oh, V, I missed the Pharaoh mask. Oh, damn, but thank you. And, Louisiana, love it there. And I'm an astrophotographer as well as an amateur radio ham operator. You've got the right skills. And this is what I love about this this platform there. Louisiana is one place I'd love to visit. You'd be able to answer a lot of the questions. So I love the stream. We get put in contact with the people that have the experiences and have the knowledge, not just in the UFO world, but like the general skill sets as well. So we do the alien radio signal hunt here, and we're excited amateurs learning as we go. But we're also, when it's a clear sky, it's going to blow your mind, we do a UFO UAP skywatch there, so we've got a good camera there, and we point it up to the night sky and look for all the movement and the weird things flying around in the night sky, and the moon on occasion as well. So we do the audio and video as well. Have you ever seen anything strange as well when you're getting your camera out there looking up to the night sky? Absolutely stunning pictures, I'd imagine. There, and again, thank you, and it's good to have you on board there. And didn't see the mask. So yeah, keep an eye out there, and it might be clear tomorrow. We might be taking the rig up to one of the local Iron Age hill forts here, because we're based in Wiltshire in the UK, which is, if you know, it's right in the heart of crop circle country. It's where lots of the crop circles happen each year, and we're just down the road from Stonehenge, so it's a very ancient and mystical landscape here of a long history of the phenomena. So yeah, every now and again, if the weather's good and we can align it right, we'll take the rig up on top of these old Iron Age hill forts that surround the town. And we look up, because there's a long history of UFOs being spotted up there, which we might be doing tomorrow if the weather wants to sort itself out. So we're hoping for that one. Do another on location for it there. Ooh, where are we now? Oh, running a little bit over. Right, guys, I am going to wind us up for tonight there. Typically I have chores to do, but thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be on tomorrow. We might be on a little bit earlier tomorrow, because we're doing the late now, so it all depends. Pete's meant to be coming down, so we might try and do it on location. If not, we might be doing something. Might be doing a little bit of gaming to mix up the radio signal hunts there, and if so, we'll probably be playing Kerbal there. Oh, Grandad, hello, and anything to report? Not tonight there, sorry, we're just missing you, we're just coming off there, but I hope you're well, Grandad. But yeah, no, not much tonight. Just the background noise of the universe and all its beauty are there. there. But nighty night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here, keeping us company, asking your awesome questions, and sharing all of your knowledge and all of that there. And thank you, Shannon, as well. It's good to see you as well. I hope you feel better there, guys. And Mark, hello. Sorry, we're just coming off, matey. I know we're being a bit early, but sorry. Hopefully we'll catch you all tomorrow there as well there. And what if the pyramids was a weapon? I mean, we don't know what we do. Long John, that's a very good point there. But guys, last chance, make sure you're subscribed, you're following us, or whatever it is you do, whichever one of those platforms are there, so you get that notification when we go live. But we hope to see you all tomorrow as well there. Thank you again, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow night. Bye bye. Right, tubers, I will see you